Hey, hey! Welcome back to another night. I promise it'll be a lot more Would You Rather this time. And we're playing Would You Rather. We're playing the Fantasy Edition, by the way. Um, so yeah, oh, the fucking questions, James. Oh my god. Live in the Game of Thrones universe. I never seen that. Or live in the Walking Dead universe, which I haven't seen either. Well, no, I'm not gonna. I don't know any of those, so I'd rather skip that. Thank you very much. Have a Harry Potter's wand or a Green Lantern's ring. Yo, that's tricky though, because Green Lantern's thing would be like one of the most powerful things, probably. Like, if you can produce anything you want. I mean, it's also very hard because if you let your fear win over you, the stuff you'll be creating won't be that nice. Let me tell you. But I mean, I've seen the Green Lantern movie, and I've always been a fan of Green Lantern. I don't think I've ever seen the comics, but I thought like the Green Lantern concept was amazing. Um, and like the power to could literally be able to create anything in your mind is insanely cool. So Harry Potter's wand is also very cool, but it does say it's not just any Harry Potter, just Harry Potter's, like, personal Harry Potter's wand, like not like any Harry Potter kind of wizarding wand. I think I'd rather have the Green Lantern's ring. I mean, that would be super cool. I could fly and I could basically do anything. Be pretty damn cool. Yeah, I think I'd go with that. All right, I get it. Be Dumbledore or be Gandalf. I don't know Gandalf, dude. What is it always with this franchise stuff that I don't know? I mean, I don't really have any ability to, like, I don't know who's Gandalf. I know who's Dumbledore, but so I cannot compare. So I will just pick Dumbledore because that's the one I know. Be able to speak to animals or be able to read other people's thoughts. Yo. I mean, this is kind of a privacy nightmare. On the plus side, though, I'd have the ability to use it responsibly and save myself probably in a lot of trouble because, look, the good thing about this, you'd be able to basically avoid saying stuff that might hurt others. That's one of the things that's actually impressive, I think, with this ability, because if you can read people's thoughts, you can avoid saying stuff accidentally that might hurt them, which is pretty damn cool. And furthermore, in tests, well, no, but really, being able to actually, like, see or, like, feel what other people want would be pretty cool, because usually when people tell me, like, not usually, but like sometimes when people tell me stuff, I'm like, well, what do you want from me? Like, I don't know what you want right now. Like, boss, what do you want from me, bro? But being able to speak to animals is also pretty rad. I'm honest, because it would be so cool to be able to get to know what other animals think and what they, well, you can't see or, like, read what they think, but you can at least talk to them, which would be kind of cool. But it won't be like, at least as far as I know, this is not going to be like, okay, yeah, you're going to be able to have full sentences, full, like, interviews with them. They're still probably be their animal self. So yeah, I don't know. It would be pretty cool, but oh, wait a minute. All right. Anyway, mom just came in. Sorry, I had to pause a bit. Be able to speak to animals. So where was I again? So being able to speak to animals is very awesome, but I think it's not as not as useful in the end as being able to read other people's thoughts. If I'm gonna be honest, I mean, if I could read the other people's thoughts, I'm not the type of person to actually misuse this, because I mean, I wouldn't want other people to misuse that ability if they had it, so I'm not gonna do it either. I know this sounds like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it, and secretly I am, but no, I'm actually not gonna misuse it, or I'm not gonna use it against people. That's what I mean. You know, because I would, if I had this ability, I would definitely use it. I would definitely read other people's thoughts, but I wouldn't use it against them or to harm them or to maybe like get an unfair advantage, you know? So I definitely go with that. Even if speaking to animals would be kind of fucking rad. Be able to change your appearance or change your personality. Oof. Okay, that's hard. I'm not happy with my appearance, but I also have some traits I'd say I'd rather remove. Though if I had to weigh it, like right now, if I could have changed who I was back then, like, well, I guess I wouldn't be the same person now because I would have already been different then. Yeah, different is yeah, it's kind of tricky, you know what I mean? Being able to change my appearance, I think that I'd rather go with that though, for the reason that for me, right now in this moment, my appearance would bother me more than like my personality. So I don't know. I go with that. Be able to see through clothing or able to turn water into beer. What is that, yo? I mean, I guess with this I could become, like at the airport, probably the most valuable person because I could like sniff out terrorists by just being able to see what they have under their clothes. On the other side, that's kind of like, imagine always having like not just being able to, but like always seeing through people's clothes. It's kind of weird, you know what I mean? Always seeing other people naked. I don't know, kind of weird. Like only like it's kind of a creep ability. I don't know. It's just, I mean, there's like, as I said, like the airport situation would be like the only one where I think would be actually useful to have this ability. And otherwise, I think it'd also be kind of bothersome. I mean, always being able to see through people's clothes, you always have to see people naked. But it's just kind of creep ability, I don't know. Or be able to turn water into beer, which is just ridiculous. I don't even drink beer. Why would I want that? I don't know. I think I'd still go with that though, because I think I could make money out of that more easily than I could through this, because this kind of creepability, as I said, it would kind of bother me. Although if you can turn it off, I guess it's okay, but I don't know. Able to turn water into beer still sounds kind of more lucrative and useful. I don't know. Meet your past self and give them advice, or meet your future self to see how you turn out. Well, I guess both kind of interferes with how I would develop, you know? I mean, I'd really like to change past actions, although the problem is with that if I don't take the same path, I won't maybe have the same lessons. I won't have learned the same lessons, you know what I mean? And just being able to give yourself advice is also, on the other side, being able to see my future, or to meet my future self even, to see how I turn out. Depending on how I turn out, could either like very much depress me or kind of make me happy and complacent. Or it could also motivate me to become that future self sooner, I guess. Yeah, I would really love to change things in the past, especially. I mean, it's always it's even on this channel, like on like at least on the server, or like how I talk to people, maybe how I handle different things, or in general, not just. I mean, this is maybe the least of problems, but how I was back then. I mean, I almost kind of dig back online, you know. Or well, maybe not dig back. I wasn't like a bully or something, but I just wasn't. I'm just not happy with how it was. You know what I mean? It's kind of a yeah. I don't know. It was kind of unsatisfactory. I have no words to actually like describe what I want to say right now. So I'm sorry. So sorry if it sounds absolutely stupid. So I don't know. But I think I'd rather meet my future self and see how it turned out, and maybe be able to change that to the better if it's a bad if I turned out shit. So I don't know. I just wish for this. I wish I just would have been able to like learn the same lessons, but maybe in a less harmful and less destructive manner, or like there was I learned some of the lessons I learned on a very hard way, and a very a way that very much destroyed me at some point. I mean, it also kind of remade me, I guess. Well, I remade myself because I was so destroyed, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Be able to change the color of anything with just a thought. Know every language that has ever been spoken on Earth. Yo! Why would I like, literally, this is useless compared to this. Being able to change color? Pfft, fuck that. Know every language that has ever been spoken on Earth. Bro, I could be the fucking master translator. I could read and see it, like, that has ever been spoken on Earth. It doesn't include, I mean, by definition, doesn't include what has been written, I guess. But I'm just gonna include that because semantically, I think that's what they were going for. So I definitely go with that. Like, hell, how awesome would that be? Be able to copy the talents of people who cross your path, able to move objects through the power of thought. This, dude, I mean, being able to copy the talents of people across my path would be so amazing. Ever seen an athlete? Boom, copied. See amazing artist? Boom, copied. That'd be like so much cooler. I mean, being able to move objects, it isn't like I have like super fine-grained telekinesis. It just says I'll be able to move objects through the power of thought. It doesn't say like I could change stuff at the molecular level and make gold out of dirt or some shit and be fucking Rumpelstiltskin. But like being able to copy the talents of people across, dude, that would be insane. Ever see like an insanely good game developer? Say you meet Hideo Kojima, boom, copy talent. I mean, if he could do that infinitely, that'd be so insane. I could become the most talented person on Earth. Ever see a cybersecurity expert? Boom, copied. That'd be so cool. That would be like maybe the coolest underrated ability ever. Die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Yeah. No, I think as much as I would avoid or try to avoid dying, I would rather die a hero knowing that I stood true to my values than seeing myself becoming what I wanted to destroy. This is a very Star Wars-y scene, you know what I mean? You were the chosen one, Anakin. And I don't want to get to the point of, like, metaphorically speaking, go to the point where I say, in my point of view, the Jedi are evil. No, like, Star Wars aside, though, dying a hero, I think it'd still be more preferable than living, but becoming an asshole, if you get what I mean. Be able to cast every spell, but only once. Be able to cast one spell permanently. Well, it doesn't say what spell. It could be like the cleanup spell that cleans up the room, which actually would be pretty fucking awesome, honestly. Never having to manually clean something, and I could actually make this a fucking business. Like, we clean everything in a snap of the finger. And boom, your shit is clean. Sillet Bang! Bang, der Schmutz ist weg. That's actually from a Sillet Bang commercial. It just says bang and the dirt or like the grime is gone. So being able to cast every spell, I mean, doesn't mean I could make like subversions of every spell and then cast these ones. So I would basically have a kind of different spell and would count as a different spell, so I could still use it, but it's just gonna be called different, or I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. But being able to cast one spell permanently is kind of freaking cool, because it'd also be more reliable, I guess. Yeah, trapped inside your favorite video game. Have your favorite video game become alive in the real world. This is difficult. Does this mean that basically it's not just the game, that like it's still gonna be, for example, if I say Undertale, which is basically which is always like, no, well, not always. There was times where I didn't know Undertale, obviously, but it's been my favorite game for so long. So would it be like I'm trapped inside my favorite, like I'm trapped inside Undertale, but still get different dialogue, or would be just reliving the same dialogue over and over again, eternally, because I can't die because the game every time responds me when I die? Or is it going to be like, actually, like, this is the real, like, as if it was a real world? Because I'd rather then choose that than, I mean, Undertale becoming real. Yeah. I've always, I've as especially when I was younger, I always dreamed of what it'd be like to be in the world of Undertale, which would be pretty cool, which would be insanely cool, But becoming alive in the real world, we already have kind of enough problems in the real world, and I think the clash of humans and monsters would probably, especially, well, yeah, no, I mean, I think I'd still rather have this than having that become the, like, I can't really explain this one, if I'm honest. It's just kind of an instinctive choice. I can't really explain it, bro. Randomly time travel plus or minus 20 years every time you fart. Teleport to a different place on Earth, on land, every time you sneeze. Bro, what the fuck? Nah. This would be like the worst shit ever. Nah, I think no. I actually think I'm gonna end this episode here. Thank you very much for watching. See you next one.